people are trying to figure out what Bitcoin is, and I think most people in the Bitcoin space, they treat it like an economic investment. They're like, this is a thing that I buy, I hold, it goes up in value, and then I sell it, right? Like that's like the idea that they're treating it just like they would treat any other investment. It's kind of like a horizontal trading, so that this idea of, are you creating value in the world, or are you just kind of like gambling in the back alley? If you and I go into the back alley and roll dice, they've been doing that for all of humanity. People love to gamble, and both people bring value into that alley, and the same amount walks out. Like nothing is created in that trading, the gambling, the speculative trading or gambling or whatever you want to call it. I think most of our economy is like that. And it makes sense. I don't blame people for that, because in an extractive system, our entire monetary system is just extracting value from you. It kind of makes sense that you would think like, oh, well, the only way to get ahead is to win a trade off of somebody. If I don't win the Powerball, I'm not going to make it. I could go spend my life and work as a plumber, but I know that that's not going to actually give me a very good life, because we've technically severed the creation of value from the creation of money. Like those two things, they used to be together. That's the natural law kind of understanding of value, is like you have to tether those things together. And when you sever that tether, you're just off the reservation. So right now, the best way, the optimal strategy to accumulate wealth is just to secure your position close to the printer. They talk about the Cantillon effect or whatever. Like the closer you are to the printer, the easier time you have of actually amassing wealth. And if you're pushed off to the side, you're just off. So it's just like, that's why people are the sports betting, the lottery tickets, like the crypto altcoins, like this whole space is just about, how can I just win value from other people? It's not about how do I create value, offer value to other people, and then through service be rewarded. Like that's not the strategy. So it's like, I understand that. And so that's what the price is to me. It's this, people are still trying to game Bitcoin. And the cool thing about Bitcoin is like, when you try to cheat it, you will lose. The incentives are such that it rewards the honest player, and if you try to manipulate things, like you will get wrecked. But it is crazy though, because it's like when you take that step back and you look at the log, it's just straighten up to the right. And then you look at the daily chart and it's so crazy. Oh, why is it selling off? Why is this huge crash? No one understands it. Yeah, people are playing games and getting burnt. Like people are using this, pretending it's not this immutable, honest ledger. It's an honest measure of value. It's the first time we actually have like that legit in human history. That's why it's like a discovery. It's not just some like, oh, this is a nice technology. It's a kind of an interesting thing. It's like, no, this is a game changer. It's a new paradigm. And recognizing that and treating it, understanding its nature, and then acting accordingly, that's how we right the ship and we get back on track as a society, as a civilization.
We have a very big disconnect in society. And this is some of the stuff you were just saying makes me think of this, where we are in slavery. People don't know they're in these chains, and people know there's a problem, but they don't know what the problem is, right? They think they need to gamble more. They think they need to capitalism harder. I need to work more. I need to get divorced because it's just costing me too much. I need to work 3 jobs. I need to, have a hedge fund at night and gamble and meme coins and altcoins. And let alone that they don't even know what the problem is. They don't even know there's a solution. It's so profound. And this just happened to me in the last week, and I was telling my wife about it. And just this general sense of men being very angry. And this is a whole nother rabbit hole for decades we could go down and talk about of why that is. But there's a very profound boiling point underneath the surface that you can just feel in comment sections. So here we are, Neil. Again, like it's all relative, but like how do you crack through other than just, slavery? It's slavery and just hitting that bullet point over and over again.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's going to work for each individual person. So just leveraging your knowledge of that person, I think that's how you get through to people. And it's, if you can truly a grassroots thing where it's like, hey, I'm a Bitcoiner, I've protected myself, and I want to protect those that I love and care about that are close to me. And it's like being able to talk to your neighbors and like, okay, you get a little community, a little, the HOA, orange pill your HOA or orange pill your little town. That's not just going to increase, Like, oh, wow, we're going to be getting wealthier over time. It's giving you more of yourself to invest in those relationships themselves. When everybody's running, I got 3 jobs and I don't got time to pick up the kids from school. I tap them on the head, we eat, and then they got to go to bed, and then we just rinse and repeat. You're not investing in other people, and like it's taxing. Like, that's not how we're built. Human beings are social, and we're supposed to be enriching these relationships we have with each other. And I want to be able to invest in my neighbor, so I know that he's got my back. I want to build a thriving community. And I think that's kind of how this thing really takes off, because it's like, okay, well, then one town does that. And then that's a place you want to be. That's a place you want to live. You'll start seeing it in all the other stats too. Like when everyone's not ground to the bone and they're just hollowed out inside and they can actually invest in the town. I don't know. That's just like a thing that will draw people, like attraction, like people will want to kind of be a part of that. I think that's how you push back. We're individual people, but we're also communal. And it's like, we're a both. We can't just say, oh, you're just a part of the state. Or you can't just go the other direction and say, oh, you're just an individual. We're a both, and we have to mediate these relations that we have with each other. And that's our challenge. Let's lean into it instead of just complain. That's kind of my idea. To be a leader in a community, you got to stand up, you got to be seen, you have to be heard, and encourage people. And I don't know, it's just Bitcoin touches everything about your human being. That's why people, will often say it's like, oh, is it like religious, or it's like this or that? It's like, well, yeah, it's touching your humanity. It's literally like everything. When we just say it's some investment, oh, it's just some Apple stock. That's not alive. It's just, oh, it's my portfolio. It's like, no, this is your life. This is your dignity. This is your sovereignty. And how you relate to other people, it's not a linear thing. This is one of those exponential things. When lots of people come together that are fully actualized, they can do really, really cool things. And, like the idea of changing the world, you can affect it to the maximal, possibility that you can. I don't like the idea of transforming. It's like, we're not changing the form. We're not changing human nature. How about let's just not smash it into the ground? That's kind of my idea. We don't have to be transhuman. I don't think that that's even a possibility, and even in the theoretical sense. But it's like, we're not objects and we're not livestock. And, I'm more than just a 9-to-5 wage slave. Like, that's not what I'm here for. You change the story, you talk to the people that are around you, and you get them to say, hey, just pick up your dignity. You're getting hit. You're being aggressed upon. There's something that you can do about it, and let's do it together. I think that's a simple, executable strategy. And I'm not saying that's the answer, but I think it's a better answer than we currently have. And, if someone comes along with a story, it's like, actually, no, let's tell the story this way, and it's way more effective, I'll just stop doing what I'm doing and pick that up. I'm bringing to the fight what I have to offer. And if someone else has something else that they can arm me with, I'm just going to use the best tool at my disposal. It's almost as if we're trying to frame a house with a pair of pliers. It's just the wrong. I think that economics is the wrong tool. There is a place for it. It serves a function. Right now, we're framing a house, and I would much rather take a nail gun where I can just bop, 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 and get this thing up than, oh, this is my hammer and I'm going to use it till, what, you have to use it too. It's like, no, we have Bitcoin. We have this nail gun. So let's just teach people how to use it. Can it be dangerous? Yeah, I would never give a nail gun to my toddler. That's going to be a recipe for disaster. She probably won't hurt herself. She'll probably hurt me. But so we got to teach people, with the people that you love, it's not just, hey, did you hear about this thing about Bitcoin? And 5 seconds later, you go all in and you don't even have security and you don't have what's a seed phrase, or like your actions need to match your knowledge. So it's like starting that process is really important. But I think just getting people moving in that right direction is important.
If you like that clip, then you definitely got to check out this next spicy clip. I think you're really going to like it. Come on, check it out. But if you want the full version, the full interview, then check that out over here. Come on, do it. I'll see you in there. you.